Hello everyone and welcome to Mohawk News Now. I'm your host Joseph Abdillah.
And I'm Perry Palmasai.
And with that being said, let's move on to our first story of the evening.
A van that police say was driving on the wrong side of the road collided head-on with a school bus north of Montreal, killing 4 people. The crash happened shortly before 9 a.m. Wednesday near Betherville, 77 kilometers outside Montreal, along Highway 40. 3 of the victims, all in the minivan, were declared dead at the scene. A 4th person was rushed to the hospital but reported dead several hours later. Their identities have not been released, but police said that victims' ages range from 22 to 32. The van's 4 other occupants are seriously injured. 2 of them have been flown to trauma center in Montreal. The bus driver and the students, who were between the ages of 12 and 17, were taken to the hospital as a precaution. 2 of the students suffered minor injuries.
Things in Egypt seemingly took a turn for the worse as just yesterday Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak announced that he will stay in office until a scheduled presidential election later in September. This of course goes against what he said earlier this week about finally deciding to step down after 30 years in power due to the overwhelming demand of people. Just hours before Mubarak's speech, Egypt's military announced on national television that it had stepped in to secure the country and promised protesters that their demands would all soon be met. However, protesters in Tahrir Square listening to Mubarak's speech live reacted with stunned silence and then anger, chanting, "Leave, leave, and get out, get out." An estimated 2,000 protesters marched on the presidential palace, guarded by military units, on Friday to repeat their demands for Mubarak to step down and leave Egypt. Demonstrators also marched on the offices of Egyptian state television, also guarded by the military with barbed wire and tanks. We've had breaking news today, however, that Mubarak has finally decided to step down this morning. Hundreds and thousands of protesters had gathered for a huge rally on what they're calling Farewell Friday. And after 18 days, they've finally achieved their main goal. Leading Egyptian democracy advocate Mohammed El Baradei, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, said Friday was the greatest day of his life.
Hey guys, today on UTalk, we thought it would be interesting to go around asking students here at Mohawk a question that I'm not too sure everyone is aware of. And dental benefits.
I am not very aware of that now.
Is it of any benefit to you?
No, because my parents already are covered through their companies that they work for. So I actually think that I would opt out of the current stuff.
Okay, I understand that. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Hi, are you aware of the benefits that you have covered in your tuition and dental plan?
I'm not actually sure what I get included with my plan, as well as the new bus pass apparently that we're supposed to be getting with all the new money that we pay each semester.
Yeah, it's a sticker on your student card, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really been told or seen any kind of pamphlets or anything explaining that to me. It would be a good thing to know, I guess, right? You're paying for it.
Sure, you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Here today trying to find out whether you're aware of all the benefits that you are paying for in your tuition, including dental.
Yeah, I got a little thing in the mail, but I actually opted out because I have another form of benefits. I wasn't totally sure what exactly we're receiving, but yeah.
So it doesn't benefit you at all?
No, not in my case, yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's great. Well, I guess it's all in the interpretation, but I do suggest everybody check out what's available to them. You're paying for it. Personally, I'm a mature student with lots of medical issues, so this is very beneficial to me, but I realize that I am not the majority. You can weigh in with your thoughts with us on Twitter at Mohawk TV News.
Despite criticism from fans and critics alike, Black Eyed Peas rapper Taboo maintains a positive attitude about his group hit-filled halftime performance at last Sunday's Super Bowl. A live spectacle, he said, caused the Peas' biggest moment so far. Taboo also mentioned that the halftime set was plagued with technical problems involving audio, microphones, as well as difficulty moving in such extravagant costumes adorned with lights. It was more about the spectacle because people already know we move and we're dancers. So they've seen that from us, he said, this time we wanted to give you a spectacle, visual besides something you've already seen, and I think we were criticized for, oh, they were stiff. They didn't want to move, but in all the actuality, it was about the lights, show, and about the production.
In technology news, both Google and Facebook, each a colossal internet-based company, are now interested in trying to purchase the increasingly popular Twitter company. Twitter is a social networking site that allows users to send short 140-character messages to each other. Founded in 2007, the company is adding users at a pace of roughly 30 million a month, but it's only allowed advertisers to market using the site in the middle of 2010. Despite this, the company barely earned a profit last year as it spent extensively on hiring and infrastructure. It is, however, expected to more than double revenues in 2011. In December, Twitter was able to secure $200 million worth of venture capital financing from Kleiner Perkins, Caulfield, and Byers, which implied its valuation was roughly $3.7 billion at the time. This itself increased fourfold within 12 months. According to a more recent report, it said that valuations for considered Twitter now between $8 and $10 billion.
Mohawk College recently announced the opening of its brand new H-Wing. Not only does it feature a new range of technology, it also welcomes a new eco-friendly environment for its students. Let's take a look.
Here at Mohawk, you may have noticed several new eco-friendly landmarks throughout the school. With the opening of H-Wing, Mohawk introduced its first eco-wall that simulates the look and feel of being outdoors. Students can also find various composting sites around the school that encourage proper disposal and good recycling habits. I asked students what they felt was their favorite eco-friendly addition.
Well, the fact that you guys got green bins, that's nice, you know, because I was throwing all my plastic in the garbage, and I can throw it inside of a green bin. So you're saving the earth that way.
How they brought in Starbucks and all their eco-friendly products that they have, and I just think it's really good for the school.
Barcodes they have for the blackberries, you can scan them and they'll tell you a bunch of different environmental facts and good things to know.
My favorite feature, like environmentally to Mohawk, would be, I guess, the water fountains in H-Wing. They tell you how much or how many water bottles are being saved by using them, so I think that's a pretty cool feature.
If you want to learn more about all of the environmental additions to Mohawk, visit us at mohawkcollege.ca. That's all for Green Talk. I'm Paige Lawson.
The video game Guitar Hero, once believed to be helping revive rock a few years ago in the hip-hop era, will jam no longer. Due to continued declines in the music genre, the company will disband Activision publishing Guitar Hero business unit and discontinue development on the Guitar Hero game for 2011, the company said in a statement. The decision was based on a desire to focus on the greatest opportunities that the company currently has to create the world's best interactive entertainment experiences, the firm said. Its revenues last year from digital channels grew more than 20% to $1.5 billion. A rock struggled against rap music video game like Guitar Hero and Rock Band were credited with creating a new appreciation for rock and roll among the millennial generations born in the 90s, who didn't know much about Aerosmith, Pat Benatar, and other musicians of the 70s and 80s. At the time, Jeff Mayfield, senior analyst of the director charts of Billboard magazine, said he saw a direct cause and effect for some of the artists who licensed their songs to Guitar Hero. The video games even increased interest in guitars, according to the nationwide Guitar Center chain, but for now, the art of playing air guitar in Guitar Hero seems a quiet bygone.
New studies on Lucy, the name given to a collection of fossils of an ancient human ancestor who lived around 3 million years ago, have given scientists surprising information that they believe could be a key part of understanding the history of human evolution. The bone in question belonged to one of Lucy's A. afarensis kin, who died about 3.2 million years ago. It was discovered in Hattar, Ethiopia, on a plateau so rich with fossils from the era that it's often called the first family site. The bones come from the outside of the foot near the pinky toe and is a stiff part of the arch bone that acts like a lever when walking on 2 feet. The structure of the bone itself suggests that it was more outfitted for walking on 2 feet as opposed to climbing. The arches on the inside of the foot near to the big toe serve as a shock absorber when we plant our back feet into the ground. All other living primates have feet made for grasping and bending to hang onto tree branches or their young, more like hands than feet. Lucy and her relatives were bipedal. That there has been a debate on how versatile they were in trees, said leading researcher Carol Ward at the University of Missouri in Columbia, referring to the most famous A. afarensis member nicknamed Lucy after a Beatles song that was playing upon his discovery. If they were able to climb in trees, they wouldn't have been able to do it any better than you or I could have.
Hey Mohawk, I'm Chris Harpos. This week in celebrity news, Britney Spears is back on the airwaves and on the dance floor. The Princess of Pop is back with her new single and music video for Hold It Against Me. With less than a week away from the premiere of her new music video, I took it to the students of Mohawk to find out if they were excited for the return of Miss Britney Spears.
It's such a club jam. You just fist pump in your car, and just to see her new comeback, Ever Since Circus, which was in 2009, and just to see how she could blow Lady Gaga out of the water.
Well, I heard that she has some HD teasers coming out for a new video, because she has a new video coming out.
Have you watched them?
I have.
What do you think of them?
They look pretty intense. She has her own unique kind of style to her, and people think of her in different ways.
I don't think she's a good role model for young women. I think she looks trashy. And it's sort of the image that she projects.
Britney Spears is known as our generation's Princess of Pop. Not only has she been hard working on her new album, but she has worked on many television shows and charitable events. What's next for Britney Spears? I guess only time will tell in 2011. Well, Mohawk, if Britney Spears said that she wanted your body now, would you hold it against her? Let us know by tweeting us on Twitter at Mohawk TV News. And remember, her new music video, Hold It Against Me, comes out in 6 days. Reporting for Star Talk, I'm Chris Tarpos.
Two and a Half Men actor Charlie Sheen checked into rehab again last Friday, causing production on his top-rated TV comedy to shut down for the second time in a year. A day after being hospitalized following reports of a 36-hour drug and drink-fueled party at his home, Sheen voluntarily entered an undisclosed rehabilitation center. He left that night and was earlier said to be planning a return to his set of his TV show next Tuesday. It was not clear last Friday how long Sheen would remain in rehab, but a typical stay is 28 days. A Warner Bros. Spokesman says 16 of the 24 scheduled episodes for the TV season ending in May 2011 had been taped, with 8 remaining to be filmed.
Results on a recent food study done on chicken might surprise a lot of people and have them second-guessing what they buy from the supermarket. Marketplace researchers, along with colleagues from Radio Canada's food show Le Percy, bought 100 samples of chicken from major grocery chains in Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. The 100 samples were then sent to a lab for analysis. 2/3 of the chicken samples had bacteria. That in itself is not unusual. E. coli, salmonella, and Campylobacter are often present in raw chicken. What is very unusual, however, was that all of the bacteria uncovered during the marketplace sampling were resistant to at least one antibiotic. Some of the bacteria found were resistant to 6, 7, or even 8 different types of antibiotics. Rick Smith, the head of Environmental Defense, a consumer advocacy group, is quoted saying that this is the most worrisome study he's ever seen of its kind. While thorough cooking kills bacteria, including most superbugs, the contamination happens before the chicken is actually cooked when handling the food. If there's contamination by superbugs, the worry is that consumers could ingest illness-causing bugs that are then resistant to all the available antibiotics that people can buy in stores.